But no, something of him spoke of wealth. Even in this state of disarray, he was too clean and well-groomed to be a beggar. With an eye on the man, Lydia soothed the horseflesh with long strokes and eased to the ground, the grip of the reins a small comfort. Verily, she would be trampled alongside the stranger should the steed take mind to part ways. "Good man," she addressed the rider as an equal, though certainly his station was above hers. His breeches showed little wear, save for their current run in the dirt. A fine leather boot with a silver buckle that shone in the dark was positioned near her head, wedged in the iron. Her hands shook as she set to releasing his leg, and as she watched him for a reaction, she studied him further. A richly tailored topcoat was askew over a crisp white linen shirt that she noted beneath his thick wool greatcoat. He wore not a wig, which seemed to contradict his apparent status, though it was just as well, as his balance had already proven insufficient without the added weight. "Be still," she said to man and horse, in hopes both would heed. She turned the stirrup leather, working it over the man's boot. With the new angle, he freed so suddenly she didn't catch the limb before it hit the ground with an unwelcome thump. The horse shied gratefully in the away direction, but settled as soon as the reins grew taut. After a moment, the animal stepped closer, lowering his head to nudge the stranger with a soft nicker. "Willard, you beast!" A round of profanity followed the utterance. Though the stranger's words were foul, they offered for his equine companion both comfort and reassurance. Their soothing cadence eased the alarm from the horse's eyes, leading his ears to relax from their pinned state. Lydia found herself enchanted by the man's tones and by his obvious affection for the horse. He shifted in the leaves, still facing away, and he had yet to acknowledge her. She should flee. She had freed him from his quandary, and his voice tinged itself not with pain but with humor. She would feel no remorse for moving past, yet her feet did not budge. If she remained silent, would he not know her there? No. Eventually he would wonder what held the reins aloft. She watched, waiting for that moment. Through the profound darkness, she noticed his hair was a nutty brown and longer than that of a Puritan man, though its richness showed no trace of the powder worn by many wealthy travelers. He was a study of contrasts, this man. For all of his finery, he seemed to shun the ways of society, and his roguish nature appealed to those innermost desires she had thought long lost. Her husband, as he were, had ruined her womanhood. This stranger, in the most insignificant ways, had roused it. "I owe a debt of gratitude, good Puritan," he said. Those melodic tones, this time addressed to her, and he thought her a Puritan. A twinge of relief eased through her. She had thoroughly escaped the past. She need not fear every stranger for his intention. "I am a physician. Are you well enough?" "Aside this daft horse, I am." He shifted then and groaned fiercely, but the pain did not alter the kindness of his features. "Where is the hurt?" she asked. "I am afraid there's no explanation within the confines of propriety," he said, his grin sheepish. She tried not to match his smile, for she found his demeanor appealing, but her trust lacking. "I assure I have heard worse." He looked her up and down again until she felt in a state of undress. "Well, then," he said after a long study, "I shall say it is my seat that is the trouble." Willard chose that moment to nod his head, jerking the reins from her distracted grip. "You old fool," the man chuckled.